Hey guys, how are you doing? This is Darling Danny, and today I'm playing some Gears of War. I'm playing on Clock Tower and ranked TDM, and I go 11-3. And I know I've mentioned it before, but I'm not the best Gears of War player. So 11-3, to me, is kind of like 40-0 to anyone else. So I'm really excited about the gameplay, and I'll just say it right now: I whore the Nasher shotgun like crazy, and it's possible that all 11 kills are from the Nasher. So there's that. I get a couple nice doubles. I think get a killing spree, so that's cool. But that's not what my commentary is about today. My commentary today is about, it's kind of like I did a Skyrim video on Necessary Gaming a while ago, my entertaining kind of background story to Daniel's life. And today I'm going to do another one, this time playing Gears. This time I'm going to do a story from, I think I was 8 or 10 years old. And I was invited to this kid's birthday party. Now many of you guys know who this kid is. When you're 8 or 10 years old, he's the kind of kid in the class you're not really friends with, but you're kind of acquaintances with. But at 8 or 10, everyone in your class is kind of friends, if you know what I mean. You kind of bring Valentine's Day cards to everyone. Everyone's kind of, acquaintances at least. So this is kind of one of the invites where he invites the entire class to come to his house and celebrate his birthday. Like I said, I wasn't the biggest friend of his, biggest fan of his. Not that I didn't like him or anything, we just weren't great friends. So I didn't know him that well, and didn't know really his parents or his lifestyle or anything really that well. So I was invited over. I came with my dad. My dad dropped me off. First thing I noticed, this is in a very rural area. Rural. R-U-R-A-L. Rural area. Kind of out in, not a farm, but kind of maybe like a quarry-ish looking place. A lot of rocks and stuff around. I can't describe it, but just, it was out of town, essentially. And my dad dropped me off. He said hi to the, parents, and he said, "See you later, Dan. Have a good time." So he dropped me off, and first thing I realized was most of the other parents had actually stayed. They had stayed, and all the parents were kind of having to get together when the kids were, in the other room celebrating, my friend, I'll call him Jake. My friend Jake's birthday party. The parents were in the other room just kind of hanging out. They were probably, I don't know, drinking or something. I don't really remember. What I do remember is that they played the radio very loudly. They were actually playing a lot of Britney Spears and a lot of NSYNC, that kind of stuff. And I can't... When I was 10 years old, it was around the year 2000. And honestly, I don't remember if that's when it was popular, but still, the parents to be listening to that, now that I look back on it, I think it's kind of weird, kind of odd, and like I said, I didn't know any, the parents of this kid very well, so I just kind of went with the flow, like, alright, they're listening to Britney Spears, let's just celebrate this birthday party. I kind of, at that point, didn't really want to be there that much, but it goes how it goes. So the party's going on, we're eating cake, we're drinking juice, we're doing our own thing, and then it comes time to open presents. Now my friend Jake gets up to this table where all the presents are sitting, and he's going through opening the presents. And the first couple, 1, 2, or 3, one of the first couple presents he opens, it's kind of like a beginner toolkit. He got from one of his relatives or his dad, one of the adults there, brought him this beginner toolkit, and it came with one of those pliers that have like knives in the blade and screwdrivers and all this stuff inside of the handle, I mean. And I'm sure one of you guys know what it's called, please tell me. But it's one of those kind of pliers with multi-tool things. And that was one of the first things he opened, which I think now, a 10-year-old or 8-year-old owning that's kind of... I mean, there's a sharp knife on there. There's a couple of them. But that's beside the point. He opened it and proceeded to open the rest of his presents. Soon after, he came to these presents with the plastic annoying ass zip ties on them that you can't rip apart, and he was trying to cut them with his new knife utility multi-tool thing he got, and he just couldn't do it. So he said, "Hey Daniel, why don't you cut it for me?" I was kind of like one of the stronger type big kids, I don't know. So he said, "Daniel, why don't you open this?" I'm like, "Alright." So I crack it open, and he's like, "You know what, Daniel, you're pretty good at that. Why don't you just keep, cutting open these zip ties for me?" I said, "Sure, whatever, it's a knife and I'm 10 years old, this is badass." So I took that knife and I continued along through his presents, just ripping them open, until finally I got to this blue, I don't even remember what it was, there's this blue box that needed these zip ties cut off it. I'm sitting there cutting the zip ties as hard as I can, I'm yanking as hard as I can. This zip tie is a strong motherfucker. And I'm just cutting and cutting. Finally my hand slips with the knife, I'm holding the knife in my right hand, slips off the zip tie and immediately goes through my left hand. The knife went through my left hand. I still have the scar on my hand. And I'm sitting there, the entire room got quiet. I'm sitting there with this knife stuck in my left hand. I don't feel a thing. For the entirety of this thing, incident, I did not feel one single thing, which I'm very happy about. Knife sticking in my hand, and immediately after this, like 2 seconds of silence, the parents start freaking the shit out. He come over, they slowly pull the knife out of my hand, and I can now see through the center of my hand. I can literally, I kind of put my fingers on my left hand and kind of split the gap a little bit, and I can just look right through, like look at people through my hand. And the parents obviously got freaked out by that, and I had to stop that. But my dad was called to come pick me up. In the meantime, they put me in this chair, like in the living room, this soft chair, and they got an ice pack and they put a Band-Aid on it. Like I don't know what that's supposed. You just put a Band-Aid on a hole in your hand, but they did that, and all the parents are freaking out, thinking my dad's gonna get all super pissed off at him because they let a 10-year-old use a knife, which went through his left hand, which you can now see out of. But I'm sitting there, they're listening to Britney Spears. They're bringing me drinks and stuff, and it was kind of funny because now I'm kind of the guy of honor at my friend's birthday party, and I guess that's kind of the end of my story. I sat there with a knife in my hand to see through it at my friend's birthday party when I was 10. I still have the scar, and it's really cool to tell that story to people about how I knifed myself at a friend's birthday party. Eventually, I went to the hospital, and they didn't stitch it up. They put this it's like a glue gun type stuff in there to help seal it, and they put some Band-Aids, special Band-Aids. But that's about it. That's in the story how I got a hole in my left hand. If you guys like this story, like the gameplay, please let me know in the comment section down below. Please subscribe to Necessary Gaming if you have not. And of course, if you guys like this personal commentary, please go to my own channel, Darling Danny TV, subscribe there, and let me know what you guys think. Love talking to you guys, cannot wait to do it again soon.